Go back. That's what I thought he said. The Prophet of Regret is planning to activate Halo.
Are you sure?
I shall light this holy ring, release its cleansing flame, and burn a path into the divine beyond.
Pretty much.
Commander, we've got a problem.
So I hear. But from what I understand, the Prophet will need an object, the Index, to activate the ring. I've located a library similar to the one you found on the first Halo. If the rings work the same way, the Index should be inside.
I'll bet the Covenant are thinking the exact same thing.
Then we better beat them to it, Sergeant. Extract your men and meet me at the library.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll secure the Index, Chief. You take out the Prophet. He's given us all the intel we need.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Tyrant's Legendary Guide for Halo 2. This is Regret version 2. This is the noob-friendly version. This is my way of sticking it to the man. I'm sorry, I love you, Bungie, but this is my middle finger to you. Alright, so assuming you have Envy Skull activated, activate the cloak ability, wait till you get a checkpoint, and then save and quit. This is 100% live. This is unedited, just FYI. So once you save and quit, you're going to need to turn off your Xbox. Restart it. So far, so good. Oh, Stewart versus Riley. Very nice. And we are going to boot up Halo 2 again. Now, again, this is 100% live. This is 0 deaths, but with 1 save and quit. So, since this does go against my normal rules, this is why I'm doing this as a separate walkthrough apart from my regular one. So, for good measure, I'm going to activate the Sputnik skull. This will give us a little bit more boost for grenade jumps. Now again, I love you, Bungie. You are the founders of my favorite series of all time. But this was your biggest mistake ever. Jackal, snipers, and boss fights. And this is my favorite song. God bless Marty O'Donnell. I swear he is the most genius composer of the modern age. As much as I dislike Halo 2, I do love the soundtrack. So again, I'm going to grab the Sputnik skull real quick using my separate profile. Again, the skull remains active as long as you do not turn your Xbox off, no matter which profile you sign in as. So I'm going to save and quit right here. A little too quick on the controller there. There we go. And you do not need this activated, but it does kind of give you a little bit more margin for error in terms of grenade jumping, which I'm going to take advantage of here. Now, what this glitch allows you to do is to remain invisible for the rest of the mission. This works for all Master Chief missions. You simply activate the Envy Skull. You need to remain invisible throughout a checkpoint, in which point you save and quit, turn off your Xbox, and then reboot your Xbox and resume your campaign in the profile in which you performed this as. In this case, it was my Tyrant profile. My main profile that I use for all my Halo 2 walkthroughs. This gives me a 1-up on all the Jackal snipers and the boss. All enemies will ignore you at this point almost entirely. Just don't try to melee any of them. So I'm going to sword fly to this guy right here. Try to speed run just a little bit. There we go. Take that, you motherfucker. I'm going to freaking kill you. There we go. We've got 2 Jackal snipers in here, so we're going to try to grenade jump to this gondola. right here, this is where Sputnik sort of comes in handy a little bit, gives me a little extra boost. So we need to trigger this gondola right here. So you're going to have to go up here just a little bit, just enough to trigger the gondola to launch. Grenade jump again. Again, this is where Sputnik comes in handy. A lot more margin for error right here. And look at that. We skipped all the snipers, the hunters, everything. And so now we need to wait for this other gondola. This is where the this is the same gondola where the elites and the drones typically spawn. So we're going to have to do a little bit of trickery here. Notice how there is no activation control panel right here. So we're going to have to wait for this thing to arrive. So we're just sort of hanging out. But you will remain invisible for the rest of the mission. Even if you're in a vehicle, as long as you do not fire upon the enemy, they will not fire upon you. You can use this for any mission with Master Chief in it. And there's the Phantom going to drop off the hunters. Whoops, you're a little late, buddy. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to jump over here to this gondola. We're going to activate the gondola, which will trigger the enemies on the opposite gondola. And now we've got our drones and our elites, but of course they cannot touch us because we are completely invisible right now. I think this is the only game where you can actually assassinate drones. And the only way you would really know this is by using either Envy or the Envy Skull glitch. We're going to take out this guy right here. I think... Oh, here comes some more guys. Those are the drones that would have attacked us originally had we taken the original method. Now, if we weren't completely invisible, this method would take multiple tries. It's not worth it for the average individual. That's why I recommend going the method that I perform in the other Regret walkthrough as opposed to this one. So I'm going to see if I can sword fly over here to these snipers and just take them out really quick. No point in not taking any shortcuts since we do not have our Marines with us at this point. We have to wait for our reticle to turn red. There we go. You can hit A to gain a little bit of altitude. There we go. We're just going to kill everybody here because I am that vengeful on this mission. That's how much I hate this mission. It's just so universe breaking that it's not even funny. I mean, one-shot jackal snipers, boss battles. So we're going to kill all these guys in here as fast as we can. But once you kill these guys, just like in the other walkthrough, the drones will spawn from the raptors up top. But you have to kill everything here in order for the elevator to launch itself up to our mission or up to our level. Let's see if any jackal snipers left anything down here. No, because we took our little shortcut with our sword flying. Again, if you're not sure how to sword fly, be sure to check out my sword flying video. That is also included in this series of Halo 2 Legendary walkthrough. Now check that out. Assassinated that drone. How many other games in Halo can you do that with? Now when Cortana says "nah out," now I see. That means that the elevator will launch itself up. It has 3 shielded jackals inside, which you can kill with one well-placed plasma grenade. Not a problem at all. So let's see if we can nail this the first time through. There we go. I'm going to fill up on plasma grenades. Even though a Pelican will drop off additional Marine reinforcements, because we are completely invisible, they aren't necessary. So like a boss, we're just going to go on through without any assistance. It's not necessary at all. The bump mapping's a bit off there. I don't notice any temple right there except for the shaft. So we're going to be cruising down here beneath the ocean floor.
It seems to be a formal apology to the prophets of truth and mercy. Apparently, Regret jumped the gun when he attacked Earth.
And the fish just flew through here. Okay.
Arguing that no human presence was
Halo
forced.
2 at its finest.
That explains why there were so few ships in his fleet. But it's odd a prophet would have such bad intel about his enemy's homeworld.
Here we go, up the shaft. Again, no marine reinforcements, so you can just pretty much run past the grunts that appear in the first submerged section. They are no threat to you at all. They can't see you no matter what you do. Now, I noticed that I'm a little bit low on beam rifle ammo, so I'm going to try to pick up an additional beam rifle from one of these guys over here. One of you assholes who tries to snipe me. One-shot me on a regular basis, you sons of bitches. Piece of shit. So, we got our new beam rifle. We're going to sneak past these hunters over here. They can't even see me. It's amazing. Halo 2's invisibility is among the worst in the series, and they still cannot see me. Gonna bypass these two elites. You know what? I'm not completely satisfied. I'm gonna get you. There we go. I'm gonna let you walk. You know why? Because I don't want to take any chances. Why bother? Do not bother meleeing a sword elite, even if you're invisible, because bad things may happen. It is not worth it to you. Look at that. We just completely bypassed the major bottleneck of this mission, the submerged temple. Let's let Cortana talk, because she loves doing that.
Regret's carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant, threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, Mercy, Regret. 3 prophet hierarchs. Killing Regret should shake up the covenant leadership. But frankly, it sounds like you might be doing Truth a favor.
Way to analyze things, Cortana. This part is once again fairly easy. You'll have honor guards at the top, 2 elites, 4 grunts. The grunts will automatically be asleep as long as you do not wake them. As long as you do not melee this guy with a sword, you'll be fine. But if you're meleeing with the sword itself, you'll awaken the grunts and alert the elite. So it doesn't really matter. Again, you're invisible. They're not going to see you anyway. We're going to jump up here, run past this elite. Now, over here, you've got 2 rocket launchers. There's one on the shore, one on the gondola. Pick up the one on the shore first, because you're going to need that. You're going to need all the ammo you can possibly get. We're going to juggle this weapon over to the gondola. We're going to leave our sniper rifle for later. You're going to have an array of grunts and jackals that are in the process of leaving, so we're going to go ahead and just kill these guys. Most of them will try to run, but occasionally you'll have a straggler or 2. You'll have 2 banshees that try to attack you immediately. Now, I've noticed that most of the time it only takes 2 shots to kill one, sometimes 1 if you're really lucky, but occasionally there is a glitch where it takes multiple shots with a rocket launcher. Now, if it takes more than 2, that means the Banshee is glitched, and there will be nothing you can do to beat it. Alright, so we got lucky there. There were only 2 shots per Banshee. Use your remaining rocket rounds to go ahead and try to decimate the ranks on this other gondola. It's primarily grunts and 2 ranger elites. Some of these grunts have fuel rod guns, and they will saturate this gondola with their ammo. But again, the ranger elites are your biggest threat. But again, you're invisible, so it doesn't really matter at this point. I recommend just sticking them since they can't even see you. We're going to use the sniper rifle as a backup at this point. You need to kill every enemy on the opposite gondola before it continues forward. Our 2 elites are down. Let's snipe this last grunt and we should be well on our way. Alright, I'm going to see if I can sword fly to this final temple yet again. Just because it's fun. I love sword flying. Again, if you are not familiar with the concept, be sure to check out my sword flying video that is included in this walkthrough. We have to wait for our enemies to arrive. It's going to be grunts and jackals before the cutscene emerges. See if we can get this down. It takes me a little while. Sometimes my fingers slip. My fingers are sweating like crazy right now. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Stab that motherfucker. Check this out. The cutscene's emerging. He is walking on water. Apparently Master Chief is also Jesus. My strength isn't the only thing they enhanced.
That's the largest Covenant fleet I've ever seen. The largest
But it is awesome
Get inside the temple.
to see this thing happen with Covenant still alive. You can either kill these guys or ignore them. Doesn't matter. Again, you're invisible. So we're just going to go straight into the temple. The faster you go, the less enemies will spawn. And we're going to go straight for the Prophet of Regret. If you watched my last guide, you know it takes around 24 punches to kill this guy, which equals 4 to 5 boardings. Now, even though killing the Prophet himself isn't that difficult, what makes this difficult is that he teleports while you're punching him, which means he can drop you down into a group of honor guards. And these are infinitely spawning honor guards. You can sit back and kill them as long as you want to, but they'll just keep coming. My recommendation, of course, as I mentioned in the last video, is to keep the initial sword elites alive, because that means you do not have elites with plasma rifles spawning in place of them. And since on Legendary, elites can pretty much kill you in one melee anyway, it doesn't seem to make a huge difference whether they spawn with swords or plasma rifles in terms of melee combat. So having them with swords means you have less firepower on you while you're fighting the Prophet. Now keep your eye on your radar. The Prophet will show up on your radar as a vehicle. In other words, his red target sensor is slightly larger than the others, and it makes him a little bit easier to identify when you're trying to assault him. He does teleport. Yeah, just like that piece of crap. Okay. But since we're invisible, I'm not that worried. As long as you don't bump heads with an elite with a sword, you should be okay. So we're going to jump down. This is number 3, I believe. He does move around very quickly. He does teleport if you get too close without boarding him for too long a period of time.
Interrupt my sermon.
Yes, I am interrupting your sermon, you piece of shit. God damn it! Thank God when you're invisible, the honor guards are not a problem. Again, I love you, Bungie, but this is the worst mission you have ever designed. So we can do this again. There we go. And when he screams like that, that means you know you have killed him, and the Prophet of Regret has been owned by the Master Chief. That is my cheap way of doing the Mission Regret. Again, you can do this with any Master Chief mission. Just activate the Envy Skull, save and quit once you turn invisible and you hit a checkpoint, and you will be good to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was useful to you. Granted, it was a little bit cheaper than my typical guides, but it will help you get through this mission on Legendary with no deaths, aside from the initial save and quit. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.
This is not